Hi everyone, welcome back to Joanne Tech Lover. I'm doing a special episode at CES 2015 and I'm here with Tony from CyberPower PC. So what have you got to show us today?
Well, Joanne, thanks for joining us. The CyberPower PC, welcome here. Good
Very
to see
nice
you. So we're really excited about the CyberPower Fangbook 3 Extreme.
Awesome.
So this is arguably the fastest gaming laptop at CES. So first, one of the things that makes this the fastest gaming laptop at CES is the fact that we have an NVIDIA GeForce 980M. And not just one, but we have two of them inside here.
Wow. You're totally selling this to me, I know you are.
And then as far as our CPU goes, we have the Intel Core i7 4720 HQ. For our memory, we're going to be shipping this with 16 gigabytes of RAM, which is expandable up to 32 gigabytes.
Wow, so definitely for editors too.
It is. And then as far as the storage, we have dual 128 gigabyte mSATA drives, and then we also have 1 terabyte 7200 RPM hard drive.
So I know that for CyberPower PC, you guys make laptops and desktops, or at least add parts to it, so it's totally upgradable, right?
Absolutely. Everything we do is fully customizable. We do custom build systems for laptops, desktop, and for this unit here, if you want to upgrade your CPU or your GPU or your storage, everything is upgradable.
So one thing I noticed right off the bat was the keyboard. It has raised keys. That means mechanical.
That is one of the things that we are most excited about. This is the first gaming laptop that has a full mechanical keyboard.
Oh my god, that's so exciting. Now, I remember seeing it on the MSI system, so this is really just revamped MSI laptop.
Yeah, so we do a collaboration with MSI. We work with some of the best gaming brands in the world, MSI being the best for laptops.
Oh, amazing laptops. But
And what MSI does, they have their set specs, and with us, you're able to fully customize and configure it to however you want. For this one, we're going to be offering it in the Cherry MX Browns.
oh, nice. I know those are really popular with gamers.
Yes, they are.
However, what about reds and blues for the future?
Yeah, we don't have them today, but we have them coming in the future.
Okay, and the LEDs are just red?
Yes, they are.
For now.
For now.
Well, you never know with the RGB train. Chewing over.
Check back with us in a little bit.
Okay, very cool. And what's the OS that it runs? I'm guessing 8.1?
Yeah, Windows 8.1.
Okay, really cool. So we've talked about all the specs and we've talked about the keyboard. Anything else that you want highlighted about this laptop?
Everything is available today at cyberpowerpc.com, fully configurable.
So what is the base price, if you don't mind me asking, before people start upgrading and fine-tuning it?
Somewhere around $3,200.
Well, that was really fun, and you guys know I love looking at new tech. So thank you for showing me what this laptop is all about, especially the mechanical switches. I really want one. Send one over to me.
You got it.
So what's up next in the CyberPower PC product lineup?
Sure, I'll show you the second thing that we're excited about. This is our Cyber brand Vapor Extreme PC gaming console.
Awesome. I know I did a review for the Cyber A, I believe,
Yeah,
and
that's
it
right.
was an awesome little system, very versatile for console and for PC. So tell me more about this.
Sure, so if you could look at it, this is it's a console on the outside, it's a full-blown PC on the inside.
I gotta say, I love the design of it. I mean, from the get-go, I thought this case is just gorgeous. Now, is this metal?
No, this is the plastic on the outside, and it's a metallic fire orange paint that we have for our new limited edition color.
Metallic fire orange. That's fancy, people. Okay, so of course, most importantly, what are the specs?
Sure. If you lift the hood up and you look inside.
Let's go ahead and lift it. Okay.
So we have a mini ITX motherboard.
Awesome.
It's powered by an Intel i7. And then we have a full discrete desktop GPU in here. This is going to be the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 980.
Oh, that's sick. I wish I could have that in my system.
As far as the RAM we're going to be shipping it with 8 gigabytes of RAM.
Okay.
And it has a 1 terabyte hard drive.
So that's the RAM. That's a double what the Cyber A was. And
Correct.
it's also upgradable up to 16 gigs, am I right?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. Alrighty, what else? I could see that you have a larger heatsink in here too. I mean, that is a lot beefier than I remember.
Well, when you order the Vapor on cyberpowerpc.com, you can customize it with any configuration you want.
Awesome, including the heatsink, am I right?
Including the heatsink.
But unfortunately, no water cooling.
Not in this model.
Okay, but still, really amazing system. And once again, it comes with SteamOS so that you can use a controller with it. And also, if you haven't seen the review, if you have a PlayStation or Xbox, PS4, Xbox 360 controller, you can use it with the Cyber systems, which is amazing, right?
Yeah, and as far as this one, it's going to be loaded with Windows 8.1. It's going to be completely Steam ready.
So it boots into Steam?
Yeah, it's gonna be loaded with the Steam client and it'll launch directly into the SteamOS.
The big picture.
Steam big picture mode, correct.
Yeah, so big picture mode is really just so when you're sitting far away from your TV, you're able to see the letters and the controls and all that, right?
Yeah, and the whole thing is gonna be controller based.
Awesome.
And you won't need your keyboard and mouse.
I actually really like that about that. There's Final Fantasy on Steam, and I love Final Fantasy, and I've always been wanting to play it, off of my PC, so this is my chance. And
the great thing about the Vapor X, you can play all your favorite games at max setting at 1080p.
So ultra
yes,
setting.
ultra and high.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot about the laptop thing. But for the laptop, it was also 1080, right?
It is.
Yes. Okay. There. I'm covered. All right. So anything else you want to share? Like, for example, hard drive space. How many can you include in here?
It's going to be up to 3. It has 3 bays. You can customize the whole thing at CyberPowerPC.com.
Okay. Awesome. And it comes with a 256 gig.
Yes.
Right off the bat.
Oh, this one comes with a 1 terabyte.
Oh, awesome. Amazing. I love it. And just oohing and ahhing. Okay, but I guess that covers it for the Cyber X, you said,
yes,
right?
Cyber Vapor
great.
X.
Well, thank you so much for showing me these amazingly
You're very
awesome
welcome.
products. And they're very popular, by the way. Sold out like everywhere. Anyway.
Back in stock now.
Okay, back in stock now. There we go. So let's make a toast to everyone who's watching and everyone who's here at CES or couldn't be here. So he has his grape juice and I have my apple cider. And we're going to make an awesome toast to CES 2015.
Cheers.
Cheers. Hi everyone, welcome back to Joanne Tech Lover. I'm Joanne and here's more coverage of CES 2015. I am here with Kevin from Cooler Master and he's got some really awesome stuff to show us. So why don't we start off in this section?
This section right here. So what we have here is an extension of our vapor chamber technology. So when we're talking about our vapor chamber technology, we did a big old campaign last year talking about all about vapor chambers.
The liquid moving through the plate.
Yeah, it's basically very similar to, if anyone's a real cooling technical nerd here, it's very similar to heat pipe, but on a much wider piece to help spread that heat more evenly across the cooler. But basically, what we've done is we've expanded the vapor chamber technology. Before, when we have a vapor chamber, you can see it in this lovely little diagram here, where the vapor chamber just sits on the bottom, helps spread that heat out, so then the direct contact heat pipes can grab that evenly and spread it out to the rest of the cooler. What we've done, or at least what we're doing, because it's currently in technical testing phases.
Prototype.
Yeah, very, very prototype. Obviously, this is not a final cooler. Disclaimer.
It could be. I'm just kidding.
But this is what we're calling 3D vapor chamber. We're taking the heat pipes and making them a actual complete part of the unit of the vapor chamber. So instead of vapor chamber spreading the heat and then hitting the direct contact heat pipes, it's now vaporizing to the heat pipes directly as like a complete channel, going up into the heat sink to cool down more effectively. And that's kind of what we're playing around and testing with right now.
I mean, this to me is like mind blown. Okay, but I mean, as soon as you told me that, I'm like, you're kidding. That is so cool. But it's supposed to cool. Like, how much faster would you say? How much more?
We don't have any hard numbers yet because we're still very much prototyping. If you got a nice close look on those, you can see they're pretty mock-up, just kind of welded on there. So we're still playing around with it. We have an example of like some of our prototyping units where this is using an old.
Thick.
Yeah, it's using what the old Hyper 612 model, but we have the test unit in there. If you can see the welded units right up in there, but it's still very much in mock-up samples, and we're still testing around to make sure it works and make sure it makes sense, because that's one of the big things we're doing. Is we have the ability to manufacture these things. We want to make sure it makes sense to do so.
I mean, loads of testing, laboratory work, All right, but why don't we move on to. What's this? A phone? I'm just kidding.
Yes, Cooler Master phone. No Cooler Master phones. No, what we have here actually is we are improving upon power supplies. And we're not just talking about, more wattage or better efficiency. Well, those are great things, and that's definitely something we intend to be doing with this. What we're experimenting with is this power supply. It's another prototype. We don't have any finished product just yet. Expect that for Computex.
Oh, I really, really want to go.
Hint, hint.
Yeah, sponsor. I'm just kidding.
We'll see. But what we're doing is we're experimenting with the power supply, and we have inside this power supply an ARM processor and a Bluetooth adapter.
Okay, see, Bluetooth, that's new for power supply. And why do we have the Bluetooth?
Well, you see the cell phone here. You can see the numbers that are changing on the cell phone here. The system is actually running behind me. It's in our half XP case right here. The system is running behind me with a prototype of this power supply with its Bluetooth adapter, and it's showing us live feed of what the power supply is outputting.
From the different rails and everything.
Exactly.
So you'll know if something goes wrong, which is great, straight from the power supply.
Yeah, so right here you're seeing like the total wattage being output, the voltage and amperage coming in.
I really want one.
You can see all the specific rails, you can see the voltage and the amperage on them. If you guys are overclockers, instead of hooking up a multimeter to check the different rails specifically, this thing just tells you. So you don't have to hook up all these extra wires and get in there and possibly make mistakes.
Okay.
You don't want to make mistakes.
I mean, seriously, I totally want a unit. So when you have a finished prototype, I would love to get a sample so I can review it.
Absolutely. Also, one other bit, this power supply is we have an intent to get rid of a lot of troubleshooting steps. When you have a system that doesn't work at all, you know, it's pure black screen, you don't know what to do. Do I RMA the motherboard? Do I RMA graphics? Do power supply? I don't know where to start.
I hate that. Oh my god, troubleshooting. Okay,
exactly.
Yeah.
So with the power supply here, we have what's called the black box function, where regardless if the power supply is actually, like if the system is on or not, the power supply, if it's working, can report through the black box to the Bluetooth adapter to say, yes, I'm working. My voltage rails are good. Everything is okay. So it's not me. So you got to try something else to eliminate that step. It can also log and record things like brownouts and blackouts and give you that kind of data.
Awesome. I mean, this is just so new. I mean, is there anyone else doing it, or are you guys...
I don't think so. Not on the Bluetooth level. I think some digital power supplies, and this one does include a USB connection function, but then you have to run it through an operating system and whatnot. We're skipping that step.
Okay, that's so exciting, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. But there is one more thing that has caught my eye, and it's sexy. So we're still at the Cooler Master Suite, and I'm here with Will from CoolChip, and they have partnered with the Cooler Master to unveil an absolutely amazing device. So what is it?
So the technology underlying the device that we're working on with Cooler Master that we have planned for launch later this year is called kinetic cooling. Kinetic cooling refers to transferring heat to a rotating structure. Very simple idea. What we've done is combine the heatsink and the fan into one assembly.
Never been seen before.
No. So when you do that, everything becomes half the size, can become quieter, can provide higher thermal performance. So we've got a demonstration unit here where...
Here it is.
Yes, we've got some hardware here that Cooler Master has made. This will be a retail unit that we plan to launch later on this year. Next to it, we have two parts. We have a server cooler here, a commercial part, and we've got a CoolChip kinetic cooling engine, right? So the spinning part is what we call the engine. You can if you want to play with this guy.
Oh my god, thank you so much, yes.
So you probably can't hear it on the camera, but the engine is actually running, and at this RPM in this form factor, we are removing the same amount of heat. Now watch what happens, or listen to what happens when I turn on the commercial part.
Whoa, that's loud.
You can probably pick some of that audio up. We'll have a hard time picking up the kinetic cooling engine piece. Now,
and they're running at the same...
So the commercial part is spinning faster to get rid of the same amount of heat. We're spinning slightly slower. That's part of the way we get the acoustic advantage.
But I mean, you can hear, but it's very subtle, which is pretty awesome compared to that anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
That's like a lawn blower.
Lawn blower is a mean analogy, but it's probably accurate. Now, the way that this all works is you've got a base plate that sits on top of your processor. This is a spreader stage. It can be a heat pipe assembly, it can be a vapor chamber, or like this, an aluminum part. On this, we've got some grooves, and these grooves mate, but they don't touch. There's a thin layer of air that separates the two structures, and through that thin layer of air, we conduct the heat onto the rotating impeller. So again, the heatsink is the fan, does the air movement. Everything shrinks in size. We can remove more heat, and we can do it with significantly less noise.
That's just the future. Everything just has to get smaller, thinner, but more efficient.
I think so.
Yeah, but back to this cooler. What I like about it is that it's sliced on either end so that it can accommodate memory. I mean, of course, if you are doing dual channel and you have like 4 sticks in there, I just thought that was a really cool design that they kept that in mind, because a lot of heat sinks, they get in the way. And so, well, what do you have to say about it?
Yeah, so here we've got a pretty standard assembly for the board, so it's very easy for us to just accommodate the keep out zone. We don't have to sacrifice surface area or performance because of what's already there, so it's easy for us to work around it. So it's interesting what might happen in the future with kinetic cooling being, we see kinetic cooling as replacing anywhere there's a fan. There might be a time when these components do shift around to accommodate the new architecture.
Cool, very cool. Is this everything that you have to show, or do you have some other cool knickknacks?
We have plenty to show, not ready to discuss yet. So
right,
here
we're
we're
planning stages.
That's right.
Evil laughter, ho ho ho.
That's right. Here we're just announcing the partnership with Cooler Master. Cooler Master obviously brings a strong brand and in the retail space and manufacturing wherewithal, know-how. So the partnership is the perfect marriage of our strengths. We're really excited to be working with them.
Okay, well, thank you, Will from CoolChip, for that is a really strong shake. Okay, for showing me all these awesome coolers and the potential for future coolers through kinetic energy. You said, right?
Kinetic cooling.
Cooling. There we go. Close enough. And also thank you, Cooler Master, for showing me the vapor chamber possibilities for the future heat sinks, as well as the power supply with the Bluetooth. So that wraps it up for this look at the Cooler Master suite of items. Hi everyone, welcome back to Joanne Tech Lover. I'm Joanne, and as you can tell, my voice is really raspy from the last 2-3 days of talking. But we are finally on the CES floor, really exciting, and I'm here with Jeremy from Sony, and he's going to show us their super ultra thin TV. So why don't we get started?
So, hi Joanne, how's it going? So this is the new X900C. This TV comes in a 55 and a 65-inch version. The cool thing about this TV is it comes in at 4.9 millimeters at its thinnest point.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, so currently the world's thinnest LCD TV.
Wow, and you lay claim to that, right? Nobody else is doing it.
No one else is doing it right now, so it's pretty awesome. On top of that, this year we've gone, not just with this TV, but with all of our smart TVs this year, they have the Android operating system.
Okay, so tell us more about that for those of us who are unfamiliar.
So think about everything that you can pretty much do with your phone, how familiar you are with an Android operating system. Now you have that same system built into your TV.
So you can go ahead and download apps in the Android store and all that?
Correct. So a lot of different apps will be optimized for the TV. We have one app that we call Sony Select. That app lets you go in, and it's basically apps that Sony has deemed work the best on the TV, on the operating system.
Can you name one? Or
Well, looking at like a Google Cast side of it, so like Netflix, HBO Go, Showtime, things like that you can then cast. Similar concept as like a Chromecast, but now we call it Google Cast built into the TV itself.
That is amazing what you can pack into a system. I mean, like a monitor these days. It's they're computers basically with their own processors.
Yep.
I think you mentioned that earlier,
yes.
right?
Yeah, so, and you can, on the gaming side, you mentioned gaming, so you can actually pair up a third-party controller and play different like Android-based games. We do still have our PlayStation Now service, which we introduced last year. Okay. That'll let you get access to PS1, 2, and 3 games, and then the Android's part of it lets you get all of the Android games as well.
Yeah, I love the backward compatibility, because I stopped after PS3 because PC games just sucked up all my time. But I remember Final Fantasy series 1 to 9, all like PS1, PS2, so that's exciting. Well, do you have anything else to add to this?
So the TV itself, another thing we introduced this year is the X1 processor. So when we look at 4K content, there's different quality of 4K content. So some of the stuff's going to have a lower bandwidth than others. What we're able to do with the X1 processor is analyze the bandwidth of the content coming in and apply the correct processing where it needs to be. Whereas last year we really just looked at the resolution of the content coming in.
Oh, but now it's what, smoother?
A lot smoother, a lot finer edges than what you would have gotten years before.
Definitely. I mean, I know you guys have amazing monitors, because I just recently got a 55-inch TV, but anyway, that's irrelevant. But thank you very much for talking with me today, and maybe we'll see you again.
Awesome. Thank you.